I would like to call to order the Board of Trustees meeting for February 5th, 2019. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. We appreciate you being here on a night when we may be having freezing rain. We will do our best to move it along tonight. The agenda is not terribly full. I ask that you put your cell phones on silent or turn them off, please. May I have a roll call?
Trustee Chamberlain. Here. Trustee Ford. Trustee Goldstein. Here. Trustee Haber. Here. Trustee Hollander.
Here.
Trustee Jamerson.
Here.
President Norris.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. First order of business is approval of the minutes from the Board of Trustees meeting of January 27th, 2019. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, it's approved. Director of Community Services is not here this evening. He's driving back from classes in Indianapolis. So hopefully he can make it back without any problems. Plan Commission report.
The only comment is we have our public hearing on Thursday. So if y'all would like to attend, we would love to have you there. You can bring your questions since it's a public hearing. It'll be pretty open. And that's really the only thing at this point, unless you have anything to add. That's it.
Any questions for the Plan Commission?
Yes.
All right, hearing none. Treasurer's report. The treasurer is not here because we're heading into tax season. And Trustee Ford is not here because she's in Florida and smarter than the rest of us. Consultants report, Walt Hamilton. Oh, pardon. Village attorney.
I think it's on the agenda.
Village ecologist is not here. Police report.
Police activity for the year since the last meeting is in the packet, and everything else is on the agenda.
Are there any questions for the chief? All right. Hearing none. Information items, stating reports. The Flatwood Heritage Center project. I have good news and bad news. The good news is Trustee Chamberlain did a tremendous job last 2 weeks ago in Springfield, and that results in the bad news, which is Monday we were informed that we have been awarded the grant. So I do not have the official paperwork, etc. So I will be talking with them about what happens and are there ways that we can, if the survey tells us we need to make it smaller, can we do that? If the survey says we don't go forward at all, that's not as big a problem because we don't need the grant if we're not going forward. So, as I say, it's kind of mixed back and forth. The Mind Mixer Committee has, oh, yes, Henry?
Well, you said we got the grant. The grant is for
For
$800,000, I mean for $400,000.
$400,000.
Okay.
We will be getting information from them officially, but I'll be trying to talk to the people in Springfield that I have been pointing out to that we could potentially withdraw completely or reduce the size and scope of what's going on. The Mind Mixer Committee has met this week. We will be meeting again tomorrow. Obviously, we need to rearrange a little of the wording on some questions since the grant is available. But we're also been hammering it out, and I think it's been a little hard and frustrating, but actually very productive. I think we're narrowing down the questions to where they're more straightforward and asking simply what do you want, etc. So I think it will be pretty good. I will try to get that to you. I know I invited you all to be admin. I was under the impression that that meant that you could look at the questions now. That is not the case, but I can, I believe, I'll know for sure tomorrow, form you into a specific group to invite you to participate in the draft part of the survey. So you will be seeing all of it as it will be appearing, and we can still modify it and change it. It's not like it's cast in stone. So, yes, Mike?
If you go to the Mind Mixer, pursuant to the invitations that you gave us, you can actually see
One of them.
some of it, right? But also, just those first two questions, is all that's there?
Well, right now, there are others that may go down to 2, but we're kicking it back and forth. There are some others that you wouldn't be seeing yet, but you would see everything
So can-
once I invite you in.
Can someone circulate those separate from the Mind Mixer? Because the only way you can actually navigate through the Mind Mixer is if you answer the questions. Because then you get to the next.
You should be able to click on and submit.
Yeah.
Not submit, but see more.
No, I didn't, I tried,
wouldn't
and
let
it
you do it.
says,
I-
oops, you didn't answer the questions, you know, so it doesn't really go forward.
Well, we did, because everyone would know for sure that if somebody answered a question and submitted everything, as long as the question period is still open, if you changed your mind because you learned something else, you can go back and change it.
Yeah, you can see them, I guess,
But in any event, Mike, I am having a hard copy made. I have a draft that I've sent around, so we'll make sure,
okay.
once we get a little farther along, because we do need to make sure that the people who are computer literate or active do have the ability to have a hard copy as well. We're looking to send out a postcard to everybody in the village with what we think will be the go date and the website, so that we should be reaching their social media, etc. So, again, I appreciate the work that everybody's been putting in, Cheryl.
I just wanted to let everyone know who submitted comments. We took everyone's comments and then basically rewrote the whole thing and simplified it and made it as straightforward as possible.
And we're kind of doing that again and again, trying to make sure that people who may be opposed to the project have more than one place to say what it is they don't like, why they're opposed, and give them more emphasis as well. I think to begin with, it was more one way. We want to make sure that we know what people want to do around this building, period. And, you know, it will be possible for people to say, we don't want anything done, leave everything alone. And I think if that's what people want, we should know it. So that is one of the options that would be there. So we're trying to make sure it's very balanced and hopefully be able to give all of us a clear picture, because I know for sure the board wants to get it right, and we want to make sure people have had a chance to express themselves. Finally, you may look out and see wood chips in the area to the west of the building. That was part of the wood clearing. We saved $500 by having them put the wood chips down on the area that the path, if it goes in, would be. You can now clearly see where the path would be. If we don't go forward, those wood chips will biodegrade, turn into mulch and things, and it'll just go away. So it doesn't mean that we're putting in the path. This would not qualify as a accessible path. So this is purely, let's just see where it's at. That being said, I know there has been concern on the part of some residents that this might lead to people coming to their houses through the woods. Although all of our research says that's not likely, I have talked with the chief about it, and he's making sure that his officers are aware that this is more open and watching that area to be sure that nothing does happen again. We're not going to just sit there and say, oh, our study says it shouldn't happen. We're being proactive to make sure that nothing else happens. Cheryl, Eric, I think I covered it pretty well. And we're looking to try and go public on the 15th. That's not a hard, fast date, but we need to get this out there under any circumstances, because we got to get some feedback so we can know whether we're going to tell the state thank you very much, but we're not going forward, or where we're at on this. So then other items which Pat can address a little more. We have been discussing with the Lake County Public Works the possibility of selling water to Picara. You may be aware that is a subdivision in unincorporated Lake County on the west side of Milwaukee. We believe we have the capacity to do it. The county would pay for virtually all of the new infrastructure, as I understand it. And we would be getting more money to cover the cost of distributing water. So it should be a plus all the way around. We'll just have to see what the details are. Patrick?
Yeah, so the county, just to start the conversation, threw out a $1 wheeling fee to Riverwood. So based on their usage, that would be $100,000 a year to Riverwoods, and they proposed that they would pay all the interconnection fees. This conversation's been going on for as long as I can remember, and it's always back and forth between Riverwoods and Buffalo Grove, not between the two communities directly, but the county trying to figure out where they can get the best rate for their residents. Buffalo Grove has the advantage that it's part of the Picara area the Picara area is split by railroad tracks, and Buffalo Grove has water lines on both sides of those tracks. So from a redundancy standpoint, Buffalo Grove is a better choice for them. But they just have not been able to come to terms with Buffalo Grove. I think it's good for the village of Riverwoods, not only from a revenue to the water fund standpoint, but it also gives us then access in emergency to their storage facility. They have 500,000 gallons of storage on that side of the river where we have none. So it gives us some extra redundancy too. And I would just add that this week I was contacted by an engineering firm doing a study for the village of Buffalo Grove about the possibility of an interconnect between Riverwoods and Buffalo Grove, which would also be a good idea for Riverwoods, because Buffalo Grove is ultimately served by the Evanston plant. If we could have yet another independent treatment plant available, that's never a bad thing if we get it done at a reasonable price. We're just starting to explore that.
So would one of the considerations be, do they care what it costs their residents? Because I'm sure it's already compared to Buffalo Grove, would that be less?
Then they do care, but they're also sensitive to the optics of a wholesale customer of Riverwoods paying less than a Riverwoods resident. So it doesn't seem that that's their primary consideration, at least from this one meeting that we had. Basically, they're at a decision point where if they're going to stay on their current well system, they have to invest a ton of money into upgrading that whole system. So it seems the Picara customers are going to see a rate increase one way or the other. And the current county position seems to be, if we're going to spend the money, let's get into Michigan Water.
So again, hopefully it'll work. The water from Picara with their add-on plus what we charge could be expensive for them, so that may be an issue, but certainly we would be ahead if we could make this work for both revenue and a more robust system. Finally, something we should talk about tonight so the council knows whether he should go forward with it. We've had a couple of residents who would like to sign on for water, and I think there may have been one or two for sewer, who are willing to pay the catalog fee, but they were hoping that we could do it over time. Right now, I don't have an ability to actually do that. We, I think, might be ahead to do it, given especially the sewer, how spotty that is. Council believes that we could make an agreement whereby we could have security against the property itself, although we would not be the first lien holder, so we wouldn't be directly in line. But there may be other ways that we could do this where we're protected even if we don't get 100% up front. So I would like to explore that because I think it gives us a good option. Henry?
Why can't they borrow money? And we can
Certainly they could, Henry, but if we do it over time, we may be able to do it considerably at a lower rate. It could potentially go on their tax bill and be done differently. I'm just saying, it seems like something that we might want to investigate.
My second question is, did they have the opportunity when this was first available to them to connect?
I don't believe the individuals that have come to us had that ability. That certainly could be a factor we would look at whether we would extend any type of extended payment. Sure.
So when I was connected, I asked this very question and was told that this was not possible. I think it's worth exploring, but I think it's also very important to put our residents in the same equal place. So I would want to know what interest rate we would charge them. And I would want to make sure that if we do this, that these residents aren't put into a better position than those who connected and found their own means of finding a loan and connecting.
Well, I'm thinking especially about people who may be near an SSA, but they can't join it because you can't add in necessarily the
That
same
was
way. So-
exactly my position.
And so that might be one of the circumstances where we'd say yes, if it seemed to be inappropriate. And certainly I would think it should be on the same circumstances or conditions as the
Right.
people in the SSA paid. So
So,
it was
We're going to talk
okay.
about that. I'd be more inclined to consider it if we were talking about a resident who had a more hardship situation and taking out a loan would perhaps put them into a debt category that they could not get themselves out of.
Given the price of homes, and if we're talking generally about people buying new as opposed to ones who've been there, I find that unlikely, but it is possible. But again, I don't think this is anything that is cut and dry. That's why I'm asking and want to talk about it a little bit tonight before council even starts spending time looking at it. Rick, you're looking like you might have a question or comment. Okay. I see now, it's turned, I couldn't see the red circle.
Like that, so you can see it better. So I had a couple of the same questions that Trustee Chamberlain had, but also two questions. One for Bruce. Can you have a single property SSA? What is that? I just asked you because if it's a complicated question, you can get back to me.
Probably, but it's, yes.
So it may not be worth it. I get that. So the other question I have is, and it's more of a comment, since we just got through, I think we're the last SSA that got water. And we did it at a very good time, price-wise. So it cost us, basically, that connection fees would end up costing us to get the main installed. But then every homeowner had to pay to get from the main to the house. So, I think that we need to make sure, to Trustee Chamberlain's point, that we don't let people tap on the main and then take it all the way to their house and do connections in the house. Because I don't think that's fair to people that either went through an SSA. Because my guess is that a lot of these people that are asking questions are probably homeowners that are new. And the SSA went through, the people that lived there didn't want to either participate or they stopped before it got to them. So I'm not opposed to researching it, but I just want to make sure that.
Rick, anybody that we were helping with the tap-on fee as to how they would pay it, would be in no different position than if they paid it all in cash. If they paid it all in cash, they're not doing the connection to the house. So it's purely the tap on fee and how that would be paid. Mike?
The only comment I would have is I'm not sure it's an issue of fairness necessarily, because I presume we would charge an interest rate. So,
we would.
yeah, so, and the other residents, maybe we didn't offer them a loan, but it's not like you're comparing apples to apples, because these would be people who are tapping out and that the village would actually be benefiting by receiving interest that it otherwise wouldn't receive. So, but either way, I mean, I'm not sure where I fall on the issue, but just that much to say.
Well, I take the general feeling that is that nobody is firm either way, and you would like a little more investigation to know what terms would be there. You're looking quizzical, is it? Just quizzical. Okay.
I would say as long as we're protected financially in a lean position, that I'm in favor of helping our residents as long as it makes sense financially.
Well, I'm especially concerned about those who are not on sewer, because those are very limited and isolated. And that's a health issue, so that I am very interested in looking at. Water is a different situation, but I know I said before, we don't want to be the first national bank of riverlands either. So I think it's worth looking at, but I just wanted to be sure before I had Bruce even spend time looking, that everybody was in agreement on that. Okay, any other questions on that topic? Hearing none. Visitors wishing to address the board? Okay, hearing none, action items. The first item is the nomination of Art Ginsky to fill the vacancy on the Plan Commission. Art is with us this evening. He has served on the ZBA and actually had meetings to attend and did so, an unusual occurrence with our ZBA. It was pointed out to me that I didn't make clear that if you confirm my nomination, that Art will be leaving the ZBA. I do have another potential candidate, trying to get some new people into this from other areas in the village. So, as I've said in the notes, I've known Art for some time. He has been pestering me for ages to be able to do more for the village, and I think he will do a good job here. And I would like to make sure we get him on before Thursday, so we can have a full plan commission when we have a public hearing, etc. So I will ask for a motion approving my nomination of Art Ginsky to the Plan Commission.
So
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Art, congratulations, or maybe condolences. David will swear you in at the meeting on Thursday. You already have the materials, so appreciate it. The next item of new business is a resolution authorizing the Village of Riverwoods to become part of a consolidated 911 system with the villages of Deerfield, Banneker, and Lincolnshire. As you know, we've been working to try and get out of Lake County, since they're keeping all the money instead of sharing it with us as they used to, providing those services, and to be able to join with Deerfield and Bannockburn. Lincolnshire is also joining, and so there's no longer a question of this being a large enough population. So we are joining with them. Their attorney has indicated that he believes that we should pass this resolution stating what our intent is, so that they can use this as part of their presentation to the 911 administrator. And I will turn it over to Bruce at this point.
I don't think there's anything to add. Pretty much summed it up. So we would like to leave Lake County TSB, join the new joint TSB that includes Lincolnshire, Deerfield.
We've been with Deerfield for quite some time. They've done a good job. We work well together. Cheryl, you've got your light on. You have a question?
I was going to make a motion.
That's even better. That's a motion to approve the resolution.
Yes.
submit everything to the state administrator, and we believe the state administrator has the authority to move that forward, but it's not, nothing's for certain.
That said, that doesn't mean Lake County gracefully give up the money, so we may have to chase it. But, yes, it should mean that by our estimation. Are there any other questions? If not, all those in favor of approval? Do you want a roll call? Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Chamberlain? Aye. Trustee Ford? Trustee Goldstein?
Aye.
Trustee Haber?
Aye.
Trustee Hollander?
Yes.
Trustee Jamerson?
Aye.
All right, and the chair does not vote, but would like to express that if the chair were voting, the chair would also vote aye on this, so we appreciate it. Moving on to old business, an ordinance amending the village fee schedule to establish fees for road special service areas. Before I turn it over to council, I would like to commend Trustee Hollander and say he should probably get a Valor Medal for having contacted the various SSAs, because while some were understanding and receptive, there were a few that almost willfully misunderstood what he was saying and they blamed Henry. So Henry has contacted all of them, and I believe now they're all accepting it. So with that, let me turn it over to Bruce.
The changes that came out of the discussion are on page 2 of the ordinance. And the main change was a couple of the SSAs said to Henry, well, what if we levy taxes one year but not another, or if we levy every other year, then would the fee apply? And it started to get very confusing. We haven't had that experience. Basically, every SSA that's begun levying an annual maintenance levy continues to levy an annual maintenance levy. Once they get into the habit of it, then they just start doing that. So we made some suggested edits to this, that it would be each road SSA having a balance in the maintenance fund, because they'll really go below that balance. And the other compromise, I think Henry worked out with a number of them, was to assure them that we would start this beginning next year rather than in the middle of this year, even though it's still early. So those are the two changes that you see in the ordinance.
We had first reading of this on November 20th, 2018, so I would ask for a motion for second reading and approval of an ordinance amending the fee schedule to establish fees for special service areas.
Second.
Any further questions or discussions?
I
Yes.
doubt that it's going to happen. But after assuming this is passed, I want to make sure we pay attention that we don't have some maintenance fund amazingly at a balance of $999.
No, we're updating all of that and making sure that all of these are properly maintained and audited. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Chamberlain? Aye. Trustee Goldstein?
Aye.
Trustee Haber?
Aye.
Trustee Hollander?
Aye.
Trustee Jamerson?
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on to standing committee reports. Trustee Haber?
I don't have anything.
Trustee Chamberlain?
I just wanted to update everyone on some additional plans for the wine and cheese. I let the Chamber of Commerce know that we were going to be doing this, and they are very supportive, particularly because one of the things we've been doing is inviting our Riverwoods businesses to provide information that we will have at a table for them so people can learn about the businesses that are located in Riverwoods. We also are planning to have a table available with a computer where people can give us their emails and sign up for our social media. And when they do that, they can get a lovely Riverwoods magnet for their refrigerator. And name badges so that no one has to wear a T-shirt or any other kind of shirt that people have objections to. We have ordered new name badges with our Riverwoods logo on them, and we should have them in advance of the Wine Chief.
They were ordered a couple of weeks ago. Second, they are larger than your old ones because when I had the ones the size of the old name tags, I discovered a great number of people couldn't read what it actually said. So these will be large enough that people should be able to read them. Cheryl, remind me if I don't send it to you beforehand, I have a resident that is wanting to help us with the social media program who I believe has got some expertise on that.
Okay,
So make sure
great.
that
Great.
I give that to you no later than tomorrow.
Okay, and Daphne, did you want to add anything else? Okay, obviously we'll have more details as we get closer.
Okay. Trustee Jamerson?
Building, sorry. The building report is in packet. I'm not sure everybody saw the December building report because it came out after the meeting, but if you didn't, we had a considerable increase in our permit fees from 2017 to 2018. We had almost $350,000 worth of permit fees, which were way more than we had budgeted. So I don't think this year will be quite that high, but
I think we'll still have one more good year because a lot of that is coming from Discovery. It's the last year of their building and remodeling program. Trustee Ford is not here this evening. Trustee Goldstein?
No report.
Trustee Hollander?
No report.
Okay, there is a reason that we should go into executive session, but it's not pressing. It has to do with the solid waste agency and litigation that they might be entering into. So with the board's permission, I will bring that up next time because it's not anything that affects us directly. Since it has to do with their litigation and they prefer not to have it out. If you want, call me during the week and I'll be happy to tell you individually if you can't wait till the next meeting. But given the potential weather, I would be just as happy not to stay longer. The next meeting is February 19th, 2019. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. I did